episode 101. I'm your host, Tobe Johnson, and this is a first of many for the members of Strange Brow Radio Patreon page. And today we have a two-parter with our guest, Pat Mccray. And Pat is an extended experiencer of Sasquatch Interaction. So is his wife, and that we'll get into in part two. But coming up is my initial conversation with Pat about his activity. Special thanks to our sponsor, Feral by Aaron, ERYN, at Etsy.com. Go to Etsy, look out for the alchemy sound tools at Etsy at Feral by Aaron. Great for the holidays, great just to have around, museum quality, beautiful handcrafted spirit tools. All right, next up we have Pat Mccray and I. All right, a little bit about Pat Mccray before we get started. Initially, Pat and I were corresponding back and forth based upon some photographs that he posted of what were large, chalky white handprints on, I believe, his pants. He wasn't quite sure at first how the handprints got there, but he had suspicions, being an extended experiencer and quite literally having the Sasquatch phenomena on their property. Him and his wife, Robin, had dealt with the phenomena before. And so we were talking about these chalky white handprints, and we were doing so in my car. So I had, in the beginning of this part one, you'll hear this initial conversation between me and Pat meeting for the first time in my Jeep. So I have the recorder going next to the phone on speaker there, so you'll be able to hear clearly the initial conversation as Pat and I start talking about not only these handprints, but about his prolonged activity and leading into his wife's activity, which was sometime longer than his own experiences. In fact, I think for the most part, from what I can understand, Pat kind of marries into the phenomena with his wife, Robin. And so again, she will be in part two, which will be next week. So here is my initial conversation with extended experiencer Pat Mccray. I'm on the phone with Pat Mccray. Thanks for taking the call, Pat. So I saw your post regarding the chalky white handprints, and there's not a lot of people talking about these being associated with the phenomena of Bigfoot. Would it be fair to say that you think this is associated with Sasquatch activity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, precisely.
Okay. And have you had ongoing experiences?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
I have telepathy and stuff like that.
So you have mind speak?
Yeah, I do that too.
Okay. And do they come to your property?
Yeah, they're all take pictures of them, and there's dogmen, and take pictures of them, and they're all over the place. I see them outside my window a lot of times. They come inside the house. I mean, rule of thumb is if you're going to come in, you got to be peaceful, and they usually are.
Okay. So
never had a bad one yet.
So coming in the house, them coming in the house, I just want to stop you with that part there, because tell me what you mean by coming in the house.
They come in your house. I mean, we've had like pig pellets and dog food, and maybe a half of thing of pig pellets, and that's when you want to sleep at night. And then it's gone in the morning.
Right.
And somebody's taken them, and it's not the pigs. They're out in the garage.
So the pigs come inside?
No, they don't.
Okay. And how are the pig pellets stored?
Oh, they're in a pantry. We used to have them in a pantry.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. And then I remember one particular night, they're about half full, and we woke up and they're all gone. So it happens with the dog food too.
Okay, so when they come inside the house, what's your theory on the process of how they come inside?
I mean, I think it's, a lot of times they'll come in and it's an astral projection or something that of themselves. I mean, there's people that, humans that can do that as well. And just astral project yourself inside the house. Or I'm not, other than coming right through the wall, they do come in. I mean, we've had, it's pretty obvious with the handprint, and then basically the handprint in the bathroom.
Right. Okay. I'm just making sure the recorder's still going here. Okay, real interesting. So astral projection, is that your main theory on how they come inside?
They can astral project. And I think if you go on any woo site or something like that, that's basically, you will hear that. They basically can come right through the wall when they astral project. And they're just basically projecting themselves in the house.
Okay. So I want to get to the chalky white handprints here, but first I want to ask you about how long has this been going on approximately? Are you a lifelong experiencer with not only this phenomena or other phenomena, or how long have you been experiencing things like this?
It started with me years ago in Indiana, and I met my wife through this. She's been experiencing this stuff her whole life. I've always been interested in this stuff, and it just, the point is you don't look for them. If you're looking for them, you'll never find them. They find you. That's basically it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, and I mind speak and telepathy and stuff like that.
And how many times have they found you? Have you moved and they found you, and moved again and they found you, kind of deal?
What's that?
Well, you said you don't look for them. They find you. Have they found you before from place to place?
They come to work and been my work numerous times, various jobs. I know they're there. I see them. Okay,
so you see them full on flesh form.
No, what it is like, I remember this one, it's in Indiana, and it's almost like, when I'm looking at them, it's like a vibrational, they're vibrating. That's how I see them a lot. Okay. It's different for everybody. I'll see them, like, I look ahead and I'll see them, and then they'll be vibrating. It'll be a vibrational thing. I can tell they're vibrating, and then when you look away, they're gone. So, if that makes any sense.
Yes. In specific to some questions here that you don't have to answer, but I want to ask. I ask other witnesses this. Have you ever experienced any time loss or any strange lights?
Yeah, I was in the woods in Michigan, and I saw this. To this day, I'm just not sure what it was, but it wasn't anybody, no human or anything. We were like deep in the woods. Well, anyway, I saw this light. It was at treetop level, and it almost looked like it was walking. If you know, I mean, strange as that sounds, that's how it looked. And then it was panning and looking for something, the light, and then it just turned off, and I didn't see anything, but it was walking as well.
And did you experience time loss too?
Yeah, come to think of it, the other day, okay, my wife messaged me, okay, and it was like 2:40. Okay, so I go to sleep, and I know I slept more than a minute, but I like wake up, and it's like 1 minute later. I'm sitting there, what the heck happened to the time? It's like missing time. I'm sitting there, there was no way I slept just a minute, because it just didn't seem that way. It just seemed like there was more time that went by than a minute.
Okay. Have you ever been regressed at all or thought about getting regressed?
I've been on Ivan Teller, and he's I think he's done some regression. I've got tapes of those and stuff. And what's that? Well, he was telling me that. Well, you'd have to listen to it, but he is saying that I'm related to Sasquatch, and like I said, I'd have to listen to the whole thing.
But you've never sat down with a clinical hypnotic regression expert and been under?
No, I've never done that.
Okay. Have you had any specific abduction experiences, or would you even call them that? Are you an experiencer of ET?
My wife helped me remember this. It was when there's two instances. One of them is when I met Sasquatches down by the river when I was younger. It still sticks in my mind, and I know it's true. And I used to fish down the river, and they were down there, and they told my wife that they blocked my memory. Yeah, they have to block your memory because it's just frightening for a little kid. Yeah, everything else reads your mind and stuff like that.
Right.
And when you mind speak and your telepathy, everything else.
And in the background, Pat, is that a relative of yours speaking with you?
That's my wife.
Okay. And she's experiencer too?
Oh, yeah. She's had it all her whole life.
Okay. And has she had it just as long as you or longer?
Oh, longer.
Okay. Do you guys know whether or not you're Rh negative?
I don't know. I'm not Rh negative.
No. But O positive, or any of your O blood counts, we want just as much. Because the EMTs use it as a universal to create the hybrid.
Did you hear that?
No.
The O positive, or negative, the ETs take that. They can create hybrids off the O positive and negative blood. My wife is O positive.
Okay. Let's get to the property itself with these chalky white handprints. Are these, first of all, are these a new phenomena for you, or have you experienced this before?
Well, when it happened, it was new. think we saw some powder stuff out in one of the other rooms, and we didn't think anything of it. I think my wife said she looked at it and it almost like it disappeared when she saw it. And we came home one night, and I have a pillow,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a chair there, and okay. My wife says they did it when she was in the next room.
Okay.
So she was here when it happened, but I had put the pillow on top of the chair, the backrest, and came home and I found the handprint on top of the pillow.
Okay.
And then
the handprint in the picture, Pat.
Yeah, the handprint.
Okay. And to explain to people that are going to hear this, how big is this hand?
I think it's a juvenile Sasquatch. I really do. It looks bigger than it is on the picture. I really do. I think it's a juvenile, and the adults are 3-4 times bigger than that.
Okay. And so there's two photographs here that we're talking about. One is a handprint, and what's the other picture of?
It's a handprint. It's on my pants in the bathroom. You can see the hair, and puts the handprint right on the pants.
Now the pants look like I'm looking at the photo now. The handprint on the pants looks quite large. It's not.
The juvenile Sasquatches are probably about, they're young. They're about 5 feet tall. And we, this particular one he'd come in and play in the house and stuff. I've heard him. I've went ahead and came out to go outside my bedroom, and I heard him kind of playing and stuff up the stairs.
Okay.
They play with the toys upstairs. We have toys upstairs, and they play with them.
Have you tried to get the print off of your pants, or have you already gotten rid of it?
No, we didn't try to get the print or anything off that. We took pictures, and I think that's good enough.
Well, what I mean by that is, did you wash the pants? Or is the print still on?
Yeah, I think so. I think I washed the pants.
Okay, so the areas, both the items have been scrubbed and cleaned?
Yeah. I mean, I thought taking pictures would be just good enough.
Right. Okay, because one of the things that we're finding with these handprints is that when they touch substrate, like in the case of the door in Cottage Grove, Oregon, it wouldn't come off of the door, not easily.
Oh, the handprint?
And then,
you got to understand that. Okay, I'll give you this for example. Okay, now, was it last night? Okay, I told my wife, we got out of the car, and then we saw some handprints on our window. Now, the Sasquatches have they have this grease that they have on their hands. It's an oil they have in their hands. Okay, now we went through the car wash, and it was still on there when we got out.
Right.
So it's an oil on their hands.
Right. I'm familiar with that. The chalky white handprints, though, like the ones that you have a photo.
I'm not sure about that.
Right. I'm wondering about the
chalky,
process.
Milk white handprints.
Do you have any theories on what the difference is? Why wouldn't have the oil and why one is chalky?
We think it might have been with the handprint. We have powdered sugar in our pantry, and they get into it all the time because it's sweet, and that's what I think. That's what I think was used was powdered sugar.
Okay, and not baby powder?
Yeah, my wife said before that happened, she had cleaned the entire bedroom, washed the pillow, and then I came in one night and there was the handprint.
Well, was there any evidence that they got into the powdered sugar?
Yeah, she says they got into it all the time. You can tell.
Right.
They'll get into the sugar. She was out here in another room, and there was powdered sugar all over the floor.
Okay, so you've seen prints before with powdered sugar?
No, but just powdered sugar.
Okay.
On the floor.
Right. When you went to see if it was powdered sugar that did that, do they close the lid and put it back in the pantry, or how does that work?
Let me ask her. Hey, do they open the thing and take the sugar out? Okay, so she says they dump it over and the lid's off.
Okay, so that would be something that you probably would have seen
scenario,
happen.
She'll go in there, and 3/4 of it's gone, and the lid will be on it.
Gotcha. Okay, so there's no way to really tell what the powder is.
Well, we're just theorizing that they did.
Right.
We're pretty sure it's the brown sugar. I mean the
powdered sugar.
Powdered sugar.
Uh-huh.
It had the consistency, but we didn't get down there and taste it.
Okay.
You know.
Put some butter and some maple syrup on those pants and go to town.
Over here? Oh, okay. Okay, so there was some whole pile of powdered sugar on the floor, and their fingerprints, and they were using their fingers, and they're going through it with their fingers. So that's what my wife saw that.
Okay. So.
Yeah, she said she saw. She didn't see them do it, but there are the fingerprints and stuff through the powdered sugar.
Okay. All right.
Now, well, I can tell you one thing. Okay. Okay. So, I had gotten up. I was in bed, and I got up and I went to the bathroom, and then I come back and my wife says, "What?" No, you were laying in your sleep. No. I went to the bathroom and I came back. I rolled over and looking in the window, and I watched me for like 10 minutes, and that's when I woke you up and it was your turn entertaining. Yeah, Bigfoot was looking in the window at my wife, smiling and stuff like that. We know him, and she turned around and she goes, I think I got up, and she goes, "Oh, it's your turn to entertain him." And he took up the entire window. And then of course what happens is he steps to the side when I want to look out. So all he did was step to the side and to the corner of the house, and he was gone. So I couldn't see him.
Okay.
But I've seen his son. He's, he always sticks his, really? We got fingerprints on our door too. Muddy fingerprints.
Oh, you mean new fingerprints?
Yeah, right now.
Okay.
They just showed up this morning.
So this is a daily occurrence?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's not a daily occurrence, but it's happening a lot.
Right. So it would be fair to say that you guys probably get gifted quite a bit?
Do we get gifted a lot? On and off. Not really here, but my wife said they leave stuff, rocks and stones and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the wires. And then in Michigan, my wife said they gifted her quite often.
Did you say wires?
Daily. It's like a wire they put on our front porch.
Mm-hmm. Did they ever bring you things that you've talked about or spoken of? Did they ever listen and bring you things that have to do with what you've spoken about?
Oh, they wanted a wine opener, and this is, I think, Valentine's, and they told my wife they wanted a wine opener, and so they told us where to put it, and we put it in the back there, and I don't know what became of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they'll take things, sometimes they won't. I mean, it's just, just how it is.
And do they ever bring you things that you've spoken about? Do you ever ask for things? No?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Okay. And what about...
I mean, our life is so busy now, I mean, you
right.
don't really think to ask them if we want something,
Uh-huh. Right. Well, sometimes experiencers will tell me that they spoke about certain things, and then all of a sudden that thing will show up. It usually is something that looks like it's been found in the river or found at the dump, but it's that thing.
Oh, well, we have that happen all the time. I mean, things that just like disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And like, for example, the pens the other day. My wife bought pens at a store. It was a package of pens. They disappeared for 2.5 weeks. And then all of a sudden one day, okay, we're here in the living room, and I'm walking by, and I walk by the same spot where it was placed probably 10 or 15 times that morning. And I look down, and there they are, the pens.
Mm-hmm.
They just appeared on the floor. This stuff like this happens all the time.
Right.
Daily, all the time.
Do you get house slaps too?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. You get house stamps. You get stomps outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, other people that come here witness it too. We go outside, and how they'll get a hold of me. Sometimes at work they'll break branches to get a hold of me. They'll foot stomp. The biggest thing is the breaking the branches. I've had rocks thrown at my car. I'll be driving, and a rock will just appear out of nowhere. I mean, like, in the middle, there's no trees. There's nothing there but an open field. And then a rock will come right, and I saw it. It was like suspended in midair. It came to my windshield, and it hit my windshield. They're trying to get a hold, trying to get my attention.
Wow.
I mean, I was at work, and I was just sitting down, and I heard "Hi, Pat." That was my name, Hi, Pat. And then the supervisor comes in, and I said, "Did you say something?" He goes, "No." See, the thing is they can, if they don't want the other person to hear, they'll never hear it.
Right.
It could be just like a directional thing. I just want him to hear it, and he'll hear it, or see it. And no one else will. This is how it is.
Do they, or have you ever left out a recorder, an audio recorder?
They've actually been on my phone. When I first moved here, and I'll go to my grave saying this, they were on my telephone, my cell phone. When I first started coming up, and I was on the phone talking with somebody, and I heard something on the other end, and it was them. It was the Sasquatches. They were on the phone.
And describe that phone call. What do you mean, and how do you know it was them?
This is how they sound.
Was it an individual that you know of?
I know it was them.
Uh-huh.
Huh?
Was it an individual that you know?
I didn't ask.
Mm-hmm.
I could ask.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, I'll dumb it out. I just won't ask. Because, but if I ask, I'll get a response.
Mm-hmm.
That's through telepathy.
So when you have things happen on your phone, which isn't unusual for experiencers, do things appear on your phone like photographs or videos or things like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Had, let's see. I had something on it. It was a saying. I can't remember. It said, our world is not like your world. There's no time. I'd have to look it up, but it was that. It disappeared on my phone. I never put it on there.
Now describe what you mean. Is that a video that appeared or what?
No, it's just, like a meme, like a little image you pick up and it has a saying on it.
Got you. So like a little meme.
Yeah, meme.
Okay.
And then it disappeared on my phone one day. I didn't put it there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And basically, I think it said, our world is not the same as your world.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the Stones.
Mm-hmm. Listen to the Stones.
Yeah, listen to the Stones.
Any idea what that would mean and how that might be connected?
What does that mean? It means when I can really attest to this because when you use telepathy, you realize that your mind is the gateway to the universe. It is. And when you think about everything on this world, I could just basically speak a name in my mind, somebody I know, Sasquatch or E.T. or something like that, then they'll immediately answer me within seconds. We are all one in this universe and in this world. That's how it is.
Okay, so listening to the Stones literally means...
That's what it means, listening to the Stones. Is you're listening to the Stones. They're all part of everything that's involved in all this. They're all one. Okay.
So basically listen to the resonance of the earth around us. Is that another way to say this?
You're probably right on that.
Okay.
Listen to the Stones.
Okay.
Probably correct.
Okay. But definitely not listen to Mick Jagger.
No.
Bad advice. Yeah. Although I prefer the Stones over the Beatles. All right. Well, we could go on and on like this. I really appreciate your time. I would love to talk to you further. I don't know if you'd be interested in talking, but...
No, yeah, sure. I'm more than willing. Just kind of send me a message.
Would your wife want to join us and be on speakerphone?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I'll ask her.
Yeah.
And then I'll text you back, but she'll I'm pretty sure she'll do it.
Okay.
We've been on together, so...
Yeah, I would really like that, because it helps out other extended experiencers a lot that, they can only handle so much of the phenomena, and then when the other stuff starts happening, they don't even know where to look.
Who's that?
Extended experiencers across the globe, people that deal with this phenomena privately, but don't know how to reach out about, Bigfoot's weird enough for them.
Yeah, I always say that, and my wife said this, the deeper you go in the rabbit hole, the weirder it gets. It just,
right.
It keeps getting weirder and weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
You're experiencing just new things,
Mhm.
different things,
Mhm.
weirder things, and it just keeps going.
Hey, the last question I'll ask for you is: do you guys ever hear any weird clicking or pop sounds, or sounds that don't sound necessarily like Bigfoot, but more like rapping, like a poltergeist?
Oh, like an electrical sound?
Well, that too, or a knock or a hit or something
Oh, we get
that's.
that all the time on the house.
Uh-huh.
I've both of us, and this is one thing that is kind of weird. Both of us have woken up, and my wife saw it first. She woke up and she saw hundreds of octagon shapes on her ceiling.
Wow.
And then I woke up. Now it was out in the TV living room and the bedroom. I saw them. I woke up and there's hundreds of these things on the ceiling. I'm sitting there, what the heck is this? And then again, I was out here in the living room and I woke up and I looked up and there they are. Hundreds of them on the ceiling. Octagon shapes.
And they're attached to the ceiling?
Yeah.
And what color are they?
Maybe grayish.
Uh-huh.
Maybe metallic.
And you say hundreds. Are they tiny little things?
No, they're probably about a foot each.
Oh, really? So they're kind of, are they interconnected and interlapping as they...
Exactly.
Okay.
They're all interconnected.
And are they moving at all?
No.
No.
They're just there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the one other thing I was driving, I was in Michigan, driving on the highway, and I saw a gateway on the side of the highway. And it was like a feathered texture. It's about 8 feet tall, and it was a doorway. And where I was working, there were foots there. I mean, Sasquatches.
Mm-hmm.
I was there, and I heard in my mind, they say, hey. They go, hey. And I told her, hey, back. And she goes, oh, my goodness, you can talk. I said, yeah. This is through telepathy.
And you said she?
As a little girl.
Uh-huh. And what
when you do this,
mm-hmm.
and you can tell if it's a
mm-hmm.
Male, female. You see, not even Sasquatches.
Mm-hmm.
You can see other things. It's all in your mind. That's what I'm saying. Your mind is the gateway to the entire universe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is. I mean, I realize this. I've seen things in my mind. I'll actively see other beings in my mind, or
mm-hmm.
You just gotta become accustomed to seeing that, and seeing it in your mind, and then putting it into reality.
And Pat, do you alter your consciousness at all by taking any substances to communicate easier with them?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Nope. That's not me.
Okay. And do you guys play music at all around your property?
Yeah, they like music.
Mm-hmm.
They love music, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I was in bed last night. I told my wife this morning, I said, man, somebody else called my name.
Mm-hmm.
You get in between I call it the zone,
mm-hmm.
in between sleep and awake.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard the voice. I've heard this more than once, and I hear the voice so distinctly and so clearly. You hear the different variations in the voice and stuff like that. I've heard it numerous times.
And do you have dream visitations?
I've had dreams of I don't remember my dreams that much. I've had remember one dream I was climbing the side of a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I've also had another dream. I was driving in a Jeep, and there's a Sasquatch in the woods, and I can't remember. I don't even know who was with me. We had bent down. He knew we were there, the Sasquatch, and then I turned around. I told the guy up there I was going to go back to the Jeep, and then I saw another Sasquatch, and then I woke up. So.
Mm-hmm. And are you in a rural area?
We're in kind of if you drive maybe about 7 miles, you'll be to Walmart.
Okay.
But we're in woods.
Mm-hmm.
There's a swamp down the road,
mm-hmm.
and there's woods everywhere. So we're in the middle of the woods.
Are there any natural springs near you or rock quarries?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a swamp down the way.
Mm-hmm.
Whole swamp.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, this is to be continued, man. I really appreciate it, and tell your wife thank you as well, and I will send you a free copy of the audiobook if you're bored, and hopefully we can talk again soon.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Nice talking to you.
Have a good rest of your evening.
You too.
All right, so my conversation again. Thanks for taking the time out, Pat Mccray. Now, next week is part 2 with his wife, Robin, and Pat. And we go into a deeper dive with exactly what Robin's experienced, because you heard a little bit of her in the background. So the way this will work is, since we're posting these episodes now directly to the Patreon website, I think that the bandwidth is going to be somewhat smaller than the regular website that I go to, which was SoundCloud, and iTunes would post off of SoundCloud. So part 1 will come into part 2, and there may be an additional part to part 2 that you have to listen to separately. So I'll post both parts next week if I have to. So it may be broken down into 3 parts instead of 2. But the rest of Pat and Robin's conversation coming up next week regardless. As I said, check out our sponsor, Feral by Aaron, ERYN at Etsy.com. Brand new stuff on there, and I'm still trying to get these Woodwatcher heads available for people to take a look at for the holidays. So again, these are lifelike Sasquatch heads, actual life-sized Sasquatch heads that you can have for the holidays, and I don't know, hang your Christmas tree around the big guy this year. So I will post those up immediately for the Patreon members. Don't forget, the regular listeners, the non-member listeners will be tuning in on December 1st for Volume 1, Season 1, Volume 1 of the regular Strange Brow episode, just like normal. But your show will be coming back again next week. Also, keep a lookout for connections observed between alien abductions and mystical experiences at the Strange Brow Radio Facebook event page. That's going to be 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, a live video webinar with Ira Wolfnosen from Heart Unafraid. And we have a couple guests that are going to arrive with us as well, people that have lived through abduction experiences and have different takes on what these experiences actually mean and what it's like to go through them. So again, that's December 17th at the Strange Brow Radio Facebook events page, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That will be a live event. And then the recorded version I will stash away for patron members only to watch. So keep a lookout for that. Also, we got to get Alex Whitcomb back on for a new monthly edition of Ales and Tales. I know Alex has been working on a website under Drifted Creations and a couple of really big commissions. The guy's just super talented, but Driftwood doesn't build itself, so Alex has to help it along. All right, that's it for me, folks. I will see you next Monday, or if not, I will see you in the trees.
Bye.